followed immediately by Ms. Box.
Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Mr. Moreland Wilson, Member of Parliament, Westmoreland Western, political representatives and other state officials, the NHD management team and staff, Sheffield Palms Development Project team, project and community stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the groundbreaking ceremony for Sheffield Palms. What an opportune time to have this event, right on the heels of our Emancipendence celebration. One of the hallmarks of an independent nation is its ability to support its people in the pursuit of worthy ideals, such as shelter. Today, the National Housing Trust affirms, once again, its unwavering commitment to creating home ownership opportunities and options for Jamaicans. Sheffield Palms, when completed, will represent a newfound level of independence when the prospective homeowners graduate to the ranks of mortgagors, positioning themselves to truly change their lives and that of their families. Beyond building communities, we continue to build pathways towards home ownership through strategic policy and mortgage financing arrangements underpinned by improved accessibility, affordability, and ease of doing business. In this regard, financing frameworks such as our new external financing mortgage program expands the financing options available to our contributors while allowing the National Housing Trust to channel more of its resources to developing more affordable housing solutions. At the NHT, we want our contributors to experience the power of options, but we also want them to experience the power of what more financing could do, particularly at this time where demand is at an all-time high and construction inputs continue to rise. On July 1, the NHT increased its general loan limits for most benefits by $1 million. For open market and build and own land loans, we increased our loan limits from $3.6 million to $6.5 million, to $7.5 million. We also increased our home lots, house lots, home improvement, 10 plus and 15 plus loans from $2.5 million to $3.5 million. But we did not stop there. The National Housing Trust also introduced a new loan ceiling of $8.5 million for contributors purchasing a unit for $12 million or less on the open market. This increased financing will go a far way to boost the purchasing power of our future mortgages. Beyond improving financing options, we continue to bridge the affordability gap for our contributors that need it the most. In July of this year, the NHT also increased its home grant from $2.5 million to $3.5 million. I am pleased to note that for persons with disabilities, the NHT reserved units within its developments and take it a step further by underwriting the full cost to retrofit the units to meet the needs of the individual and the needs of their families. Additionally, our low interest rates and facilities like the Parent Assist, deferred and intergenerational mortgages, 100% financing for our scheme solutions, as well as grants, continue to drive the NHT in the ranks of the premier mortgage institution, not just in Jamaica, but in the Caribbean. So apparent is this fact that a delegation from a Caribbean neighboring state has engaged the NHT in order to replicate this type of institution in their own country. That speaks to the power of a key. It not only unlocks a door to a home, but to a whole new set of possibilities. The mantra we have adopted at the National Housing Trust is that we do not just build homes. We aim to develop holistic and sustainable communities. Future residents of Sheffield Palms can expect no different and look forward to a well-built development outfitted with green spaces and recreational areas to make life more comfortable and enjoyable for them and their families. This development would not be possible without collaboration, for it is the thread that holds the fabric of who we are as a nation together and remains a critical component for the thriving housing industry. Initiatives like our developers and guaranteed purchase programs, premised on partnership and a shared vision, support the NHT's thrust of engendering an affordable housing program. The guaranteed purchase program, under which the Sheffield Palms is being developed, has allowed for the harnessing of financial and other resources within the public and private sector to facilitate the completion of housing developments. The growth and evolution of the program has allowed us to work with developers to create even more opportunities to bridge the gap between supply and demand for affordable housing. I would like to therefore thank the Sheffield Palms Development Limited for partnering with us on this project. I would like to recognize and commend Donald Moore, our Senior General Manager, Construction and Development, and his team who skillfully manage the construction and processes of all our developments across the island, and will be working closely with the developers to deliver these units. I would want to ask Mr. Moore, since you don't all know him, to stand and wave. That's not in the speech. But his name is mentioned. All right. Functions of this nature take great effort to execute, and I would also like to recognize and thank the planning team, led by Mrs. Ann Vidal, who assiduously worked to coordinate and plan today's ceremony with support of other NHT staff and our external suppliers. Finally, as we look out at this land before us, it represents more than just a space where we will build homes, but rather, and tents will blow down. Finally, as we look out over the land before us, it represents more than a space where we will build homes and tents will blow down, but rather a blank slate to build opportunities that will positively shape our nation's future. And we guarantee that no house will blow down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and enjoy the rest of the proceedings.
The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Member of Parliament Moreland Wilson, Deputy Mayor Councillor Ian Miles, Ms. Marvelyn Pitter, CEO of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, councillors, councillor caretakers, members of the clergy, National Housing Trust board members, leadership team and staff, stakeholders and partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this momentous occasion, the groundbreaking ceremony for Sheffield Palms. As we gather here today, it is no coincidence that we're still in the week of emancipendence, and this moment marks the beginning of an exciting journey which will deliver transformative growth to the community of Sheffield Palms. With a consummate, warm Westmoreland welcome, on behalf of the partners and stakeholders of this project, I extend a warm welcome to everyone here who have taken the time to join us in celebrating this significant milestone. There is no doubt that on a busy Friday in August, you could have been elsewhere, but you are here with us. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of this project and the impact it will have on the community and the parish of Westmoreland at large. Allow me to take a moment to give you the backstory that brought this dream to full fruition. I would like to recognize Mr. Chescott Brownie, the true visionary behind this project, who identified this piece of land and with determination and foresight pursued the acquisition of the land and a partnership with the National Housing Trust. And as they say, the rest is history. His discernment was the beginning of great things to come and is credited to his vast experience in construction, focusing on low-income housing solutions. So today, we embark on a historic journey made possible by a bold dream. I would also like to say a special thanks to Mr. Robin Farkitson, who was very integral in the acquisition of the land we are now occupying, this very site which will be developed into 110 low-income houses. A significant part of the vision of this project is the need for more low-income housing options on the outskirts of the tourism mecca of Negril. With the rise in new hotel construction, Sheffield Palms boasts a great location for a convenient housing solution for workers in the hotel and other key industries. The time is right and the location is prime. Even more exciting is that this vision extends beyond this project. The goal is to move into other phases of Sheffield Palms, which will include a phase 2 and 3 using an additional 200 acres. In the interest of the community, we will embark on bolstering local social advancement by supporting the government of Jamaica with all the support to build a future Sheffield Palms primary and high school, a community center, and other physical resources. In addition, phase 3 will augment further growth as it will feature a commercial park to benefit residents. By being our finance partners for this project, the National Housing Trust has stayed true to its mission to improve the quality of lives of Jamaicans by facilitating home ownership, particularly among low-income individuals and families. From inception, the objectives of this project have aligned with the vision and mission of the Trust. On behalf of the project team, partners, stakeholders, and future owners, I would like to express profound gratitude to the dedicated team of professionals from the National Housing Trust who have worked tirelessly to bring this project to fruition. With your collective expertise and commitment to community development, this vision is well on its way to being a reality. As this project extends beyond the confines of construction to community development, with endless possibilities, this is an opportunity to foster collaboration, community pride, and spirit, and to further stimulate economic and social growth in this community. We have the chance to make a meaningful difference in the lives of those who will live and work here, and it is our duty to seize this opportunity with utmost dedication. As we commence construction on this site, let us embrace collective energies, vision, and relentless commitment to a successful completion of this project. Together, we will create a legacy for generations to come and contribute to the progress of the community and the parish of Westmoreland, a parish more than deserving of development. Once again, I thank you all for joining us today and for your continued support throughout this journey. Together, we will lay the solid foundation for a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon, and thank you very much, Ms. Box. And that future does indeed look bright when you speak about a broader development plan that includes education, primary and high school, and commercial facilities as well. Truly, we are reminded today that housing requires partnership and collaboration, not just in one stream, but in many streams, and the NHD opens those avenues through collaboration, not just with our contributors, but with our development partners as well. And we look forward to the completion of Sheffield Palms. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Western, Mr. Morland Wilson, who, like a proud parent today, is breaking ground for his first NHD development in his constituency. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now make Mr. Wilson welcome to bring greetings.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I'm happy to be here at the groundbreaking for the Sheffield Palms development. And I would want to start, even though my dear friend Mr. Berbick has made the welcome, I would want to extend a special welcome to our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. I wanted to make him feel welcome to Westmoreland Western. And yes. So I'll start by welcoming our Most Honorable Prime Minister and all the other agencies that are here. I see the police, I see the development agencies, I see the GALPA, SDC. I think the entire Calvary is out because this is good news. Reverend, thank you again for that lovely opening prayer. We always like to have the Lord in our midst. And of course, our political representatives that are here, caretakers and councillors, I welcome you. I bring warm greetings on behalf of the residents from right across the constituency of Westmoreland Western, and by extension Westmoreland, here at the groundbreaking of the Sheffield Palms housing development. It is a splendid experience to have our Prime Minister in the constituency seeing, listening, and interacting with Westmorelites, and showing genuine interest in developing Westmoreland. Reflecting on our leaders, past and present, our Prime Minister, the youngest in our history, has done more for Westmoreland than any other Prime Minister in the history of this country. And may I remind you that we also had a Prime Minister who was an MP in Westmoreland. We see where this government is building roads, schools, investing in security, education, and industry. Westmoreland Western, it is our turn. You voted for the change, you voted for the development, and our Prime Minister is here delivering. We are here at yet another groundbreaking ceremony. A few months ago, it was the Little London Police Station. Today, it is a housing development. And I would beg to say, there is more to come. You may all have heard the story of a man who boarded a flight in Montego Bay traveling overseas. And when the plane landed, he came out and was greeted with fresh air. He saw tall buildings, high-rise structures, beautiful scenery. And the man said, yes, they are foreign. But as it turns out, he landed in Kingston. I share this little story because of how far Jamaica has come, how far Jamaica has advanced, and the rapid rate of our progress and progression with development. Our Prime Minister and the NHD, I would like to thank you because oftentimes we hear of developments in Kingston and in Montego Bay, but very few times we hear of developments in Westmoreland. I feel a sense of civic pride and fulfillment when I see the people around me, my schoolmates, my friends, my supporters, my family members, my barbers, are able to own their own home. I feel good when I can see tangible results, when I can see my people moving their standard of living, to move themselves from poverty to prosperity and to create a better future for themselves and generations to come. Today's ceremony is to break ground on a new housing development, an affordable housing solution that are being provided for you and for the community. But it's mean to me more than just housing, as you will hear recently just mentioned. We're looking at schools, we're looking at a commercial district, and we're looking at a phase 2 and 3. For that, as an MP, I welcome Sheffield Palms to the constituency. The event today widens the scope for growth and development of our small and medium-sized businesses. In the next few months, we are expecting a lot of activities in this part of the constituency, and I look forward to seeing the completion of this project, as well as a few more housing schemes across the constituency. I thank the Prime Minister, Most Honorable Andrew Holness, for his vision and for coming here today to demonstrate the level of interest and commitment in developing Westmoreland and Westmoreland Western. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all wholeheartedly for coming out. I thank you for supporting me as your Member of Parliament, and I am looking forward to continue working with you as your MP to create Jamaica's Vision 2030. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wilson. And let's now get a taste of this lovely parish of Westmoreland that we've been hearing a lot about at this time. Coming to us at this time, rather, is a Hartford cultural group with a musical medley. Please make them welcome.
Evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, good evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, good evening neighbor, evening. Oh, you miss a damn play, tim bam, oh, you miss a damn play, oh, you miss a damn play, tim bam, oh, you miss a damn play, that man from Janasfield. From Janasfield, we never see you come to church before. We never see you come to town before. Him shaky head, him shaky hand, him shaky waist, him shaky back, him shaky tail. He shaky right foot, he shaky left foot, he shaky right foot, he shaky left foot. Tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam. Oh, you miss a wheel star. Oh, Prime Minister. I never see you come out town before. Pick up yourself, Prime Minister. Pick up yourself, Mr. Wheel Star. Pick up yourself, Prime Minister. Pick up yourself, Mr. Wheel Star. I never see you come out town before. Now you come to Westmoreland. So we want to pick up the girl. You shaky head. You shaky hand. Him shaky waist. He shaky back. Him shaky tail. He shaky right foot. He shaky left foot. He shaky right foot. He shaky left foot. Tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam, tim bam. We never see you come out town before. We never see you come out church before. Him shaky head, ting a ling a ling a tim bam. He shaky hand. He shaky waist, ting a ling a ling a tim bam. He shaky back. Him shaky tail. He shaky right foot. He shaky left foot. Tim bam, tim bam, tim bam. Tim bam, tim bam, tim bam. Tim bam. Hello, I was told 6 minutes. yam yam. Boy, yam yam. I am yam and the same way and yam. See ya? If you want to know the yam yam sweet, catch a piece of the cardboard meat. You be finger, you know feel wonder, how the yam yam sweet. Aye, I'm a cook yalla yam, try yalla yam, all yalla yam, and the same way yam. If you want to know the yam yam sweet, you taste it, aye, catch a piece of the cardboard meat. Now when you catch it, in the sand mackerel. He runs so fast because of the young. And when you want to do what he back, and because of the renter young, the renter young, the renter young, 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 young is the sweetest young.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much, Hartford Cultural Group. Another round of applause for them, please. Now, after him shake him left foot, him shake him right foot, and you hear, big up yourself, Prime Minister. I don't think he needs any more introduction, but ladies and gentlemen, he has charged the NHT to build house. We build more house. He charged us to build more house. We build more house. Now he has charged us to build even more houses with a particular number and target in mind that we're steadily working towards. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker this afternoon, Portfolio Minister with responsibility for the NHT, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Please make him welcome.
Can you hear me now? As I look at this audience, I'm very pleased. I'm very, very, very happy to be amongst the wonderful people of Western Westmoreland. I see that the weather is going to give us some blessings. But I pray for its forbearance while I very quickly deliver a few words to you. Allow me to thank Reverend Veronica Thomas, pastor of the St. Paul's Anglican Church, for your very comprehensive prayer and welcome. There is no one in Jamaica who was not covered by the Spirit. Your Member of Parliament is visibly excited about this development and has ensured that that excitement is translated to the very vocal support that has come with him. Moreland, let me acknowledge Acting Mayor Miles and other members of the Savannah Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. Mr. Doran Dixon, good to see you, Doran, representing the board. And Mr. Donald Moore, representing the executives of the NHT. And may I say that the NHT is a very hard-working institution and is doing an excellent job in ensuring that the finances of the institution are properly managed and that they are being used for the purpose for which they are designated, and that is to build more houses. And I must say that each time that I say build more houses, the NHT say, how much, Prime Minister? But I know that there is a limit to how much I can ask them. And the truth is that the NHT is now at that limit. We have stretched them to that point. So now it is for consolidation, not for further expansion in the delivery of housing. Let me acknowledge the developers, Sheffield Palms, and the project director, Ms. Vikisha Box, and Mr. Brownie. Good. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, but before I go into my presentation, I want to thank the performing group for their acknowledgement. Our traditional culture and our traditional folk music and folk form is still alive and well. And by the way, did you see the fingernails of the lead singer? If you call me out, I can call you out too. Very good performance. We are here to break ground for 60 two-bedroom housing units at Sheffield Palms in Westmoreland. These 60 units are part of an overall development consisting of 113 housing units, which will be done. These units will create homes for, in the first phase, 60, and in total, 113 Jamaican families. These units are being built on lands located in Retreat, which is on the northern side of the Little London Main Road, and therefore is near to the Little London and Negril communities. The development will sit on 24 acres of land, and the infrastructure will include paved driveways and parking areas, stormwater drainage system, potable water distribution network, connections to sewer infrastructure, as well as, of course, JPS. And in these developments these days, we have to make provision for internet services. But I'm also pleased that the developers are making provision for green spaces, that you will have sufficient space for recreation, because this is such an important part of the quality of life that you will enjoy. Too often, we see people becoming comfortable in their homes and preferring to sit down in front of the TV and watch Netflix all day. And before you know it, you are hypertensive, diabetic, feeling all kinds of aches and pains, and then you go to the doctor and you get prescribed drugs. Doesn't really solve the problem, because the solution is right there in your community. Even if we didn't build specific running tracks or courts or swimming pools, but just walk for 30 minutes briskly per day. And that can do so much for your physical health and your mental health. I am not here preaching what I don't practice. So you can see that I have still, at 51 years old, maintained a very good physique. So I encourage you. Each unit will be 760 square feet, which is a fairly decent size, and will be appointed with the usual ceramic tiles, the UPVC double siding windows with insect screens. It will have an appointed kitchen with good cabinetry, closets, and it will have a gable roof finish with Decra-Shake roof tiles. It will be a very lovely facility when it is finished. We expect that the first 30 units will be delivered to new homeowners by March 2024, and the remaining 30 by September 2024. My only comment on this is that I wish it could be faster. And I know that the building technology exists to build much faster than we are building these days. The cost of the development is estimated at somewhere in the region of 907 million Jamaican dollars. I won't tell you what the prices are yet. They haven't finalized it. But these houses are targeted for persons working in the tourism sector, civil servants, law enforcement, teachers, and so forth. So once you are within that income bracket, you should be able to easily afford one of these units. The Sheffield Palms is being developed under the NHT's Guaranteed Purchase Program, which started in November 2018. Under this program, developers conceptualize, execute, and maintain and complete the development. The NHT gives a guarantee that once the units are built to the agreed standards, that they will be purchased. So what this does is takes away the market risk. In other words, the risk of building and having no one to purchase, or the risk of building and it takes a long time for the purchases to close. So the developer feels a greater sense of security. I can get this done, and the NHD takes the house off me very quickly, and then I can move on to another project. I don't have to worry about interest rate, costs piling up, and maintaining the project for a long time whilst we await sale. So it's a very good project, and we are encouraging more developers to come on board, take advantage of the project. Of course, there are risks, there are challenges, because sometimes developers come on board and say, yes, we can build, sign on to an agreement, and then change their mind afterwards and don't want to fulfill the agreement. And that we can't have. So I'm saying it here clearly that the NHD will maintain a very strict posture in these agreements. And we will carry all our contracts to court to be adjudicated if the contractors do not perform. And that should be absolutely clear. We will protect the interests of the Jamaican people, and we will protect the trust, meaning the funds that the contributors put in the housing trust. So it won't be a situation where contractors can feel that because it's government, they don't have to perform. Or they may believe they know somebody and therefore the NHD won't take them to court. That's not the case. So I want to be very clear with these programs that if you decide to sign up, be prepared to complete the contract as it is contracted. ladies and gentlemen, under the current GPP program, that is the Guaranteed Purchase Program, we have several developments that are in the planning stage or ready for execution. For example, we have the Silver Sun Estates in St. Catherine. That's 1,200 units to come on stream. We have Roseneath Park, again in St. Catherine, 140 detached two-bedroom units. We have Sheffield Palms in Westmoreland, which is this development, 60 two-bedroom units. We have Catherine Estates, 367 duplex studios and 458 one-bedroom units. In Savannah Park, again in Westmoreland, we have 41 two-bedroom units. In Brompton Manor, St. Elizabeth, we have 53 two-bedroom units and just one three-bedroom unit in that development. In Howard Avenue, that is in Kingston, I broke ground there, lovely development, 248 studio apartments. In Spot Valley in St. James, 240 bedrooms and 178 two-bedrooms. So that's 241 bedrooms and 178 two-bedrooms. In Carlsberg Estate in Clarendon, 105 one-bedroom units. And Chantilly in Westmoreland, we have 135 two-bedroom units. So you can see that the program is taking off. In total, that's about 3,226 units in all under that program, and the program continues to grow. Now, it should be noted that since the inception of the Housing Trust, 3,000 units, 3,000 housing solutions have been constructed in Westmoreland to date. Yes, 3,000. Now, more like 42 years or so, yes. Now, we intend to expand this. And as you would have heard me point out, under the Guaranteed Purchase Program, that there are several projects slated for Westmoreland. But we have, under other programs, we have Shrewsbury Phases 1, 2, and 4, which was built, 615. Frome, 665 in Mailersville, or Mailersfield, 230, and Whitehall, 748. Those were built already. Now, we are planning to do 4,500 new housing solutions for the parish of Westmoreland. And this will include Shrewsbury Phase 1, 32 housing solutions. I think we had completed those, or almost completed those already. We have Savannah Park, 41 housing solutions. Those are under construction. We have Shrewsbury Phase 2, 27 housing solutions, and those will start next year. We have Orleans, 520 housing solutions. Those will start next year. We have Paradise, 2,453 housing solutions, and that's projected to start next year. We have Negril Spot, 1,040. That is under development, and we are projecting a 2025 start. And we have Fontebelle, 325 units, and we are projecting a 2025 start. So it's clear, it's very clear that this administration has not just great plans, but we are implementing those plans for the benefit of the people of Westmoreland. So, as I was being acknowledged by your Member of Parliament to a rousing welcome, there was one voice at the back of the audience which said, "And we want to see you down here more often, sir." That's a very profound statement. I am never under any illusion that as Prime Minister, this job is about popularity and glory and fanaticism. This job is about work. This job is about responding to the needs of the people. There is never a down moment for me. To do this job, you have to fit. Because no matter how the people love you, after they hug you up, they begin to point out the problems. Everywhere I go, people hug me up, hug with them long for see me and give me big kiss and then them say, "Prime Minister, you see me road, the water, the house, the donkey." No, it's not pressuring, you know. For others, it can be overwhelming. But I have been in it going 27 years now. Fairly long period of time. So I'm used to it. I understand it. And it is not that people are impatient or upset with their government. Maybe some persons are. But the truth is, you have been waiting for so long. So it can get frustrating sometimes. As many water supplies as we have turned on, there are 10 times more there waiting to be addressed. As many houses that we turn over, as many housing schemes that we break ground for, there are tens of them waiting to be delivered because persons have been waiting so long. So I know when you complain, when you quarrel, when you push up your mouth and vex and kiss your teeth and walk off, I understand. And to be fair, you have all right to be. Because during this period of our independence, as we reflect on our past, this country should have done so much more, has so much potential, which was not fulfilled. Not fulfilled because the only people we can blame are ourselves. Because we have chosen, out of frustration sometimes, to elect political leaders who make bad policy decisions that ultimately end up affecting how your services get delivered to you in a timely and efficient manner. One thing this Prime Minister is committed to do is to deliver the services to you in a timely and efficient manner. We are, in some ways, victims of our own success. Because the more we deliver water, is the more people quarrel for water. It's a funny thing, you know, funny psychology. If no water was being delivered, nobody would say anything because they don't expect it of the government. Funny thing, the more we fix and build road, the more people say, we want more road, my road. And the psychology behind it, you know, is that they see that the improved performance of the economy is giving the government greater ability to deliver things like water, housing, roads, buses, new garbage trucks. And people are saying, boy, I want my own before it run out. Because there is still the view that this might be temporary. At the heart of every Jamaica is the understanding, even though they don't admit it readily, that the only way that we can deliver the services that you want is to ensure that we have a solid, sustainable, stable, and resilient economy. They want to decry everything else. They want to badmouth the government in everything else. But one thing they can't say about this Andrew Holness-led administration is that we have improved the economic performance of this country. And that improved economic performance, we are going to do our best to ensure that it continues. Because it is in the continuation of good economic performance that we are going to be able to deliver the things that you want. So it is a change that has happened in our society. The argument is no longer about the economy and its ability to deliver. The argument now is how do we share up the dividends of good economic performance? How much more pay should I get? How much more houses we must build? Why not my water supply first versus some other community's water supply? So the conversation has shifted because the fundamentals of the country have shifted. What we can't do in this new phase of our development is to become disunited. We must continue to think of one Jamaica. We must continue to think of Jamaica as the place of choice where we can all live, work, and raise our families and do business as one people. So it means that sometimes you will have to compromise. It means you may have to exercise greater patience. You must resist the temptation to divide among class and, class and social and economic strata. Because you have persons who are pushing that line. We are one people, we are one Jamaica, and we are going to make decisions for everyone to the benefit of the country. So, it means something when you have 8 consecutive quarters of economic growth. It means something when our unemployment rate is the lowest in our recorded history of this statistic. It means something when our net international reserves now stand at $4.14 billion US. It's not so long ago, because I know sometimes they argue like we were always there. In 2013, we were on the brink. We didn't even have 13 weeks of imports. But we forget. Our exports for the first time in a long time has shown increase, 55% increase over last quarter last year. Export is not something that we even report on. But the greatest metric of the performance is that our debt to GDP ratio, which was as high as 150%, is projected at the end of this fiscal year to be about 74%. This is a sacrifice that you all have made. And we have to keep steady hands on the economy. But there is a commitment that your government has to make. And that the benefit of our economic performance has to be used wisely and in the interest of the people. We must control corruption. The economic benefits cannot be frittered away, cannot be creamed off the top, whilst people are suffering. We have to make a commitment to ensuring that the vulnerable in our midst, the most vulnerable, that they are protected. And it can't be that we say to them, the economy is doing well, go out there and find a job and pull yourselves up by the bootstraps. Personally, I believe that everyone must take their destiny in their own hands. But I also believe in equity, which is that if you are all the way down, then the government must reach down there, hold you by your hands, and pull you up. So we note that after the pandemic, we have seen a rise in persons who are classified as absolutely poor. And poverty has several dimensions to it. So government can help to bring people out of poverty by treating with these various dimensions. One dimension of poverty is lack of income, meaning you're not working. And in the Jamaican context, if you're not working, then it is highly likely that your level of consumption will be low. And you're classified as absolutely poor if you consume below a certain level of dollar value of consumption. And that happened after the pandemic. After the pandemic and during the pandemic, many Jamaicans lost their job or had their incomes cut. And so their level of consumption would have fallen, and that would have reflected as an increase in poverty. So we know that because our unemployment rate has gone all the way back down, we know that people have found their way up out of poverty. But another part of poverty is lack of knowledge and information, meaning education. And you can substitute this general word education for a specific word, skills. So there are a lot of Jamaicans who are not earning what they could earn because they have no skills. Many of them have skills, but they are not certified because they are not classified as having gone through a process of training. And so we have some programs that we are now putting in place to reach out to those Jamaicans who are not in the labor force or about to come into the labor force, but they are not properly equipped. Some are your relatives, your nieces and nephews, your sons and daughters. They may have just left school and they are at home. Some left school a few years ago and they sit down on the street corner, and if they hold up their hand like this, you see a hole through it. We want to get those youngsters in because they are valuable. In an economy where unemployment is so low, labor is in great demand. The greatest complaint I get from business people, and I see many business people here nodding, people in the hotel sector, we cannot find people to work. And when I go to, especially in the construction sector, I see Mr. Brown is nodding, especially in the construction sector. But when I go out into the communities and I see some of these young men and women, they say, we can't find work. What is the asymmetry between the need in the private sector and the labor that is available not being utilized? The important thing here is their skill level. And that is why the government has made access to HEART, NSTA, free. Go and get your skill. And we have launched recently a new program called the LIFT program. It's really up in its pilot phase. It's 500 youngsters per year. We're designing this as a kind of funnel through which we can bring people who have just graduated out of high school, prepare them very quickly to go into the world of work. And that is what we're doing. So what we're doing is we're taking the dividends of the economic performance, some of which we have put into the compensation review to raise the public sector salaries. Some of it is going into programs like the LIFT program. It's going into HEART. It's going into social welfare programs to help lift those who are most vulnerable on the other side of the equation, to lift them up out of poverty. We recognize the context of Jamaica. It is a context of unfairness historically, where the endowments have not been equally shared. And I want to say to you, your government will ensure that there is equity in the economic fruits that are bearing, that you will have equal chance of being a participant in the prosperity. We believe not just in prosperity, but in shared prosperity. So, ladies and gentlemen, the weather has cooperated with us. The Almighty has heard our plea, as Joshua did in battle when he asked the Almighty to let the sun stand still. We have asked the Lord to just hold a bit on the showers of blessings until I deliver this message. And I'm certain that as soon as I close my script and depart from the stage, the blessings shall pour down. God bless you, and I love you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Holness. And just before those blessings open, we have one final thing to do this afternoon. But firstly, thank you very much for that presentation and for connecting the dots between economic performance and the ability to deliver critical infrastructure and services for our people, and the ability